Welcome back to the Mason clan. In this episode, you're going to tag along with us on our trip to Arranmore. It's a little inhabited island just off the coast of County Donegal. Arranmore is reached by a 20-minute car ferry crossing, which is run by the Arranmore Ferry Company. There's two companies at Burton Port. There's the red ferry and the blue ferry. We used the red ferry, which cost us €90 for a return crossing. We did ask the ferry master if it was okay to get our motorhome on there, because they are small car ferries, and whether the roads on the island would be suitable for our van. Whilst waiting for our ferry crossing, we grabbed our lunch at the Lobster Pot. As you'd expect, there was plenty of fish on the menu, and the food was good here. Also, another pint of Guinness was enjoyed too. We'd watched the ferry come and go on a few occasions before it was our turn to cross. We knew that we had to reverse the vehicle onto the ferry. Some of the crew had been putting cars on, but we were happy enough to put the Hoff on ourselves. Stephen's pretty confident driving him, having owned him for 4 years now, and we were happier doing it than letting the crews take the responsibility of getting him on. It was the August bank holiday when we were going over, and although not a holiday in the Republic of Ireland, there was still plenty of students heading off to celebrate their exam success at one of the local pubs on the island. Yes, it did take a bit of work to get us on, but the crew were brilliant. They obviously knew what they were doing and had done this before. And we're on. With a bit of a manoeuvring around, there was another 3 vehicles got on the ferry. We stayed in the van for our crossing. The planks of wood came out again to get us off the ferry, but we were soon through the village and onto the roads. We were heading to a lighthouse, which we'd seen on Park for Nights as an overnight park up. There was also a review saying the roads were in poor condition, but we didn't find this to be the case. They were well tarmacked, although single tracked. There was plenty of passing points along our route. Just before you reach the lighthouse, there's parking for about 4 or 5 vehicles. It's near to the disused Coast Guard building. We had a great view from the van, and you can really understand why it's called the Wild Atlantic Way. Down in the cliffs was a little cove, probably where smugglers used to come in. There's steps down, but they are hard work coming back up. As the evening drew in, the winds increased, so we took the decision to drive down to the Beaver Island Memorial, where it is a little more sheltered. It's always better to be safe than sorry. The memorial was to commemorate the links between those that emigrated to Beaver Island in America, and on this trip we'd seen lots of American tourists. The island really is very quiet, and after checking there was no sheep around, we let our boys have a little run. After After breakfast, we decided to face the busy ring road. Well, we did pass a couple of cars and a few walkers. There's a couple of locks up there, but as we got higher, the mist came in and our view out to sea was obscured. Dropping back down, it cleared and we followed the road round. Again, it's a single track road, but with more passing points available. Although we'd wanted to do 2 nights on the island, the forecast for the weather was not good, so we'd rung through to the ferry company to organise crossing back later that afternoon. In the meantime, we headed into the village. There's a few pubs, an eatery there, and the locals even gave up their seats so we could enjoy a better view with our pint. We had lunch at Huey Mickey Dan's, which was good, and we spotted another one of our Wild Atlantic Way place markers. Loaded back onto the ferry, we were on our way to the mainland again, passing some of the smaller islands with their lovely properties. Instead of a garden, they had a beach to play on. We didn't see any dolphins on our crossing, but apparently they are spotted regularly on the ferry route. There was plenty of people crossing to the island. Some were going for a drive round, others were choosing to have a hike around it. One guy we'd met said he'd just nipped over to have a pint. The parking that we'd found at the Beaver Island Memorial spot, we've added on to Park for Nights, so all the details are on there for you to gain now. Hopefully, we've inspired you to take a trip out to Arranmore.